Hi kids, I think I'm almost set up here and ready to go. Welcome to the June 9th edition live stream. As I try to adjust the camera here a little bit. Doesn't look so bad. Alright, we are inside the Willis show. We want to do some Q&A stuff. Let's go over to Facebook and make sure we invite some folks. Want to make sure they know how to get here. Let me, that's, yeah, I set that up to be a little loud, so just want these folks to be able to get in there and see what we're doing, so they'll follow us over here. And yep, and post. All right, so so here's the crazy thing today. I got, like I said, my friend Jared, and actually it was Jay first, and then Jared followed up on it. This crazy story today about the WWE stock, and what was going on was, man, that stock was just going all over the place. So we'll talk about it just briefly. And then when people come in, you know, if they decided to join the chat, and then if anybody gets in here, and then we'll answer those questions. Otherwise, it'll be a short night. So, the stock was trading. It was up right over $70 at one point. It opened at $58 was the close yesterday. In some I guess you can do some pre-trading before the market actually opens. It opened at 63. We left off at 64.48 at the official close of business, and then in after hours trading, you got to realize I know nothing about stocks, so I'm reading information as I have it right here. So in the the overnight trading, or whatever you call it, or the post close trading, the price was up to $65.99. So that's a good, well over 10% jump. At one point, it was at 17% of a jump. I know when I reported the story earlier, we were right over a 17% gain. I think the price had jumped to $68.30. So if you got in a little bit early, you probably did pretty well today, if you sold your stock. If you didn't, hang on, because what's going on, I had to do a little research, and it's the same phenomenon that has been happening with AMC and BlackBerry and things like that. I don't know how, like I said, I am not a stock person. I don't have stock. The closest thing to stock I ever got was some bands. What's up, 3HQ? What's going on, guys? The closest thing I ever got to actual stock was, oh gosh, some like savings bonds that I got from my mother when I was a kid. So I'm not sure how all this trading works, but I know that there was a subreddit this morning, and apparently it said that the WWE stock was going to be a good investment. Well, I guess that drives the market somehow. And they went up, like I said, they were up 17% at one point. And like I said, closed at a little over 10, 11% over what it closed yesterday. So, man, I don't know if you jump on it low. Maybe you can make some money. I really don't know how that all works. So that was the big thing that was happening this morning. And so by the afternoon, it calmed down a little bit. I see you guys. it calmed down a little bit, and then the 64, 65 range, like I said, it closed at 64.48, 65.99 in the overnight trading. Buy some Dodge. I'm talking about this, and I know nothing about it. I saw what the WWE stock was doing because somebody stooched it off to me, and That's it. I know Dogecoin to the moon. Well, let's certainly hope so. Because I know a lot of people that's investing in that right now. Maybe it needs a subreddit to make it go crazy and nuts, like the AMC and the BlackBerry and some of these other things that just went insane. So if WWE stock goes nuts like that, do they shut down Robinhood again? I don't know how all that works. I don't. Somebody's gonna have to explain it to me. Somebody that knows this stuff much better than I do. I jumped on it because it was wrestling news. You know, on one of my other competitors' channels, he's not even talking about this. He's talking about somebody had said he was a terrible worker. So if I do that, we'll be here for 3 hours, because I know that that applies to me. There is a knock on the podcast door. Is that a knock? Maybe that's just a dog. So that's what was going on today. And in the wake of, you know, all the recent firings and what's going on, and are they going to sell, and you gotta believe NBC Universal's in that bunch. I still keep hearing this Disney Plus rumor. To me, that is a crazy rumor, but I wouldn't put anything past Disney. Is the WWE for sale? We don't know. We are sitting here twiddling our thumbs, waiting for something to happen, waiting for some kind of formal announcement, for them to even say yes, no. There's been a lot of front office changes. I assume, you know, Vince McMahon is still the top dog there, but I know there's people under him. There's a board he has to answer to. I've seen weird stuff where the board, you know, overrules the CEO on things like sales and things like that. So, you know, it's a little bit of a sticky situation. I'm going by what I see on the internet and other sources like that. So right now it's just speculation as to what's going on. Let me send a shout out to 3HQ again. That's the band, but the Swamp Fox Studios will actually be there Sunday for an episode. We're going to interview John Reyes. He has a comic book, self-published comic that is, I don't think it's out yet, but he's self-publishing this book called Lightning Man. We want to talk to him about the creative process, where he came up with it, and how the idea got started, and for what was the process for him to actually get this thing moving. This is like something he created. It looks like, to me, from what I've seen in various pictures and things, something he came up with as a kid, and it was just one of those ideas that stuck around till finally he said, I'm going to go ahead and do this. And once again, it might be another one of these COVID things, or one of these, that's kind of brought the creativity out in some of us folks. So I'm just Swamp Fox Studios. There we go. We'll be filming there at noon, and then I'm not exactly sure when the video will go up. From there, I've got to go straight from Swamp Fox, then I've got to go home, get changed, and head up to Alternative Wrestling Showcase, which is 6 o'clock bell time, and for Unfinished Business. That is the name of the card. Let me get on the net. This is what happens when you don't have your own engineer. Because I want to make sure I get this main event right. So I know Dirty Joe came out with a video. He issued a challenge for a triple threat match. There's let me do a quick search. I apologize for that. Okay, where are we at, guys? All right, so Dirty Joe came out looking for a fight. Father Tom says his name is Tom. We called him Straw Hat Tom, but his name is Father Tom. See, that's good stuff right there. See, that is on the top reporting. Taking the Redneck Collection Agency back to the top. They are the former tag team champions. So something's going to happen there. Okay, main event attraction is Antonio Morgan. See, I didn't want to say his name wrong. I knew it was Antonio, but I wanted to say it right. And Chris Vallo, that is going to be your main event. I'm wondering what's going to happen because our our House of Pain champ should certainly be in line for a rematch. But if you go to Alternative Wrestling Showcase, there's some promotional videos up hyping the show. Some guys are not in a good mood, so that's something I've heard. Yeah, and Dirty Joe is gonna. Apparently, there's going to be a triple threat match for that House of Pain championship. So even though we don't get the rematch between the House of Pain champion and Antonio Morgan, maybe we'll. It sounds like a good main event. It sounds like a good main event, and that's probably going to be a semi-main or a featured attraction. Those sound like two good matches right there on their own. I was just playing Fantasy Booker, some stuff that I would like to see. I really wanted to see the Savage Nation against the... Now I'm going to forget names, and this is why I need to take notes. But the current champs... no, I was going to call them House of Darkness. That's not right. Got to find the names of all these folks. They said they will have a rematch in the future. Okay, so Curtis Black with Miss Deidre and Antonio Morgan, they had gone the time limit. And so we've got news there. We had Ryan. Okay, yep. We still. See, I'm trying to find the names of our tag team champions. I feel so ashamed. Hey, there's merch on this site. Can you buy tickets at the door? Yes, you can. Okay, yep. Do you allow fighting in the parking lot? No. But thanks. Black Society. Thank you. I was going to screw that up terribly. Learn the names when you're going to do commentary. It's easy to do commentary because you have the stuff right there in front of you. I didn't know how much I was going to talk about this show tonight, but okay. So Black Society, Ryan Manters, Lazarus Black against the Savage Nation. I know it's happened before, or I was told it happened before. Needs to happen again. That would be a good matchup. All right. So, like I said, AWS is coming up. That's 6 o'clock. I think they're going to open the doors at 4, according to the promotional poster here. Admission $10. Kids 6 and under are free. So there you go. All right. That's AWS talk. I'm a little late getting back with these guys, but it says see you Sunday. Yep, like I said, we'll be in the Swamp Fox Studios for the Willis show. So, excuse me, that is Cherry Vanilla Coke. So that's going to take place, and we'll talk to John Reyes. I totally screwed up. I thought there was AEW tonight. There is not. We're still in the midst of the NBA playoffs, so Friday Night Dynamite is at 10 o'clock. So can't talk about AEW either. So I thought in between, while waiting some of these folks to jump in, that we could talk a little AEW, but we really can't, because there's no show to watch along. So I could pull a doozy out of the TV and watch something. I want to check this out and see what we got here. So I know one thing we can talk about is so right now I have not seen The Fiend Bray Wyatt since the Monday after WrestleMania. Okay. And I know at one point that was like the hottest act there was. Or at least everything I was hearing, people were enjoying the Firefly Funhouse and all this kooky stuff happened. And Alexa Bliss got in the mix, right? Okay. So, and it was kind of had a real Joker Harley Quinn vibe to it. And I was digging it. And some of the stuff is like way out there, but I was kind of digging it. Post WrestleMania, Alexa Bliss turns on The Fiend. The Fiend comes back and says, "Don't worry, we're going to be fine." Here's Xbox. No, I didn't. No, I didn't ask for the Xbox to be on. I didn't know that. Wow. I said Alexa Bliss and it's doing weird stuff with Alexa. Very good. Okay, so that was funny. All right, so she turns heel. No repercussions from The Fiend. So now we have Alexa's Playground, right? We have Shayna Baszler in the mix, right? And the end of Raw was this very cheesy, haunted, housey, thoughts on the WWE. Oh, there's Rick. Thoughts on the WWE Treasure Show. You know, I haven't watched it. I have not watched it. And why don't they have these things already? Are these things seriously that missing? I don't know. They killed the gimmick. Too many matches going under. Yeah, and somebody's been watching The Conjuring, I guess. They probably killed The Fiend with Goldberg. When that happened, that was one of the worst things I've ever seen. And then of course Roman gets in there and does his thing, which I like the Roman stuff, but now there's no Fiend, and the whole Orton payoff at what was the payoff at WrestleMania? And now we've got RK Bro, which I think is funny, but I don't know, man. Raw is weird. The numbers are really, 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 really weird. It's funny though. They have, people still watch. They have 78 million followers on YouTube alone. I don't know what their Twitter numbers are. It's a lot more than AEW's, I know that. But if you take that into account, somebody's still watching wrestling. But yet when you get the Nielsen's back, you've got like 1.6 million, 1.8 million, and that's way, way, way down for pro wrestling. And I know TV is not what it was in streaming stuff. They killed Big Show, Strowman before it was released. Yep. Man, if Bray Wyatt showed up on a list and they said he was cut, I wouldn't be surprised at this point. Why is he sitting at home? I just don't get it. What would happen to Kane or Undertaker? Yeah. What would happen if Kane or Taker went under that much? You mean what would happen if King? Oh yeah, kill it. It would kill it. They can go under to some people, but I mean, the big thing with Taker there at the end was the streak. And even when the streak, he was the Undertaker. He still had a mystique. But yeah, the company that used to be, I'm trying to get the hair out of my eyes. The company that used to be the best in the world at making new stars seemingly can't make any all of a sudden. They just don't get behind anybody. And, you get on the web and you hear everything about 50-50 booking, and maybe that's it. Maybe that's killing wrestling. I just don't know. Not everybody can be on the same level. You have to have your top tier main event guys. You got to have a middle card. You got to have a mid card, and you got to have a low card, and then you got to have people that just don't win. That's the way it was always been, and it's not that way anymore. And they want everybody to be a superstar. I'm doing the finger quotes here. Get in tight. I don't know. So they've killed. Look at how much. I don't want to say heat, not necessarily heat, but look at how much momentum people like when Shinsuke came out of NXT and Bobby Roode and people like that, and now that it's just, they're flat. He's fighting with King Corbin over a crown. He's got a guy playing electric guitar for him. Though I kind of dig that, but it's not as good as a violin player. But and we're doing stuff like that. So what's going on? I don't get it. Maybe there is no way to fix it. Maybe it just is this is what it's become now. So if they're happy with a couple million people each week, then maybe that's all it is. But you'd think you'd want to grow that audience, because if you keep appealing to the kids, because that's what it seems like all this is, and they're going to grow up and they're going to grow out of it, and they're going to like, wow, this is kind of dumb. They can look at NXT. Vince's time has come. His sense of humor, thoughts on what get people over is archaic. Yep. Oh yeah. Sometimes people eventually lose it. Some people like M. Night Shyamalan make 2 good movies and then the rest is crap. But yeah, Vince seems completely out of touch with what's going on. Yeah, I think Hunter and Sean can do it, but I don't know if he's gonna. And see, that's the weird thing about, if the company gets sold. If the company gets sold, do they stay? Even with Hunter and Sean, the show having more cohesiveness. Well, Hunter's pretty smart, I think. I don't know what Sean is contributing. That's Hunter's, NXT's Hunter's baby. So, he's going to take care of that as much as he can. I wonder how much influence Vince does have over NXT. It doesn't seem like a lot, because there'll be something occasionally silly, but they don't kill the whole program with silly. So, I don't know. And like I said, I haven't watched it in a long time. I think, what was the last thing I watched? Here Goes the Dog. Maybe I watched a takeover. I think I watched a takeover 2 takeovers ago. So I don't really know what's going on. I know Adam Cole's still there. If I was him, I'd stay there. It's sad when you wouldn't want to get. Thank you. When you wouldn't want to go to, you wouldn't want to go to the main roster. If they sell the company, it is the end, just like Warner killed WCW. Maybe. Somebody has to nurture it and use it as an asset, and they have to put people. They have to put people in positions that know what they're doing. if they come in and they put a bunch of corporate people in there, they're doomed. Especially if they have the attitude that Turner had. They just, okay, we bought this thing, now what do we do with it? Ted gives it to his friends. Oh, go have fun. Because he didn't know how to run wrestling anyway. He just knew it was his highest rated program on TBS. So that's why he kept it. That's why he wanted it. Did you finally decide you're going to stay in here? One old dog. So let's pop back over here a second. Going back to the computer and boom, shot clock. Okay, and then we'll pop back over here. You can't have people running wrestling who don't understand wrestling. we see that all the time, don't we, Rick? We see that on the Independents. It's no different. I asked somebody, I'm trying to remember who I asked this question. Watch your feet, because I might name drop here. Might have been Gangrel, or it could have been Chris Masters. It was one of those two guys, I know. And I said, what's the biggest difference between Indies and WWE? And he said basically the budget, to use all the politics, is pretty much the same. So you'd run into the same things, Vince has the mentality, if you didn't build them, they don't matter. So many call-ups from NXT that were killed. But who has he built? Roman? If your developmental system is truly your developmental system, you can't kill the developmental guys, because who's left to build then? I don't understand the way it's being run. But like I said, we'll talk this one to death, because I wonder what locker room. I wish I had somebody that was in the locker room that could tell me what the morale was like. I know a couple of guys that have left, and what they told me morale was like when they left, and it wasn't good. When you've got some guys, I don't need to name them. You can probably figure this out when I make this statement. When you've got guys turning down $750,000 a year, there's something wrong in the locker room. So, a lot of money. I had a guy in one of these Q&As ask me, do I think Dolph Ziggler should go to AEW? And I'm like, for what? He's making $1.5 million with Vince. Who else is, are they going to pay him $2 million? And even up there, I doubt they make him the champion. So he's no better off moving, unless he just wants a lighter schedule. He's following the same pattern as Rock. You're going to have to explain that one to me. Rick, explain that statement to me. We're talking about The Rock being out of touch. I don't know if he is. Keeps recycling gimmicks. Yeah. I mean, now we've got a rock and roll Elias. We've got Elias, who's acoustic, and then we've got Rick Boogs, who's electric. I mean, some of these guys came in with a gimmick that worked. But, it's just like the whole Mankind Cactus Jack thing. He's going to remake you in his image, and then, that doesn't always work. So you have to, you got to give some people a chance. You got to give some folks some wins. Wrestler X can't lose 3 times to Wrestler A and then win once, and then just, you're killing guys. or they go back and forth, and they win 1 week, he wins They 50-50 it, and then they go to the pay-per-view, and there's no payoff. Stuffing Roman down people's throats, the crowd's not buying it, heel turn, and eventually babyface turn. It's down the road, he will turn babyface. I just don't know with who. And I don't think, I keep hearing this Cena Roman thing for SummerSlam. That's going to be great. And then what happens when Cena goes back to Hollywood? You got the same problem as you had with The Rock. It doesn't build, how much more can Roman be built up? There's got to be a credible challenger somewhere down the road, and you fired one of them. Strowman. Who's being built to take on Roman? And then I heard it might be Ray at Hell in the Cell. Nah, why should you buy that pay-per-view? Because that's Ray has no chance. If they did something crazy and switched the belt and kept it used to be unpredictable, especially on during Monday nights. You didn't know who was going to show up where, and you didn't know match finishes, and you didn't know programs ahead of time and all this stuff. Some of this is the internet, and other the stuff is they're not doing enough to try to surprise the audience. I'm not saying switch the title 16 times in a month, but it worked with Rock. Yeah. We have a message or a notification. No, just somebody that liked the link. We are live. We are live. As live as we could do. How much? I wonder how long he's actually going to. If they get Cena in for SummerSlam, how long he's actually going to stay? I mean, is he firmly entrenched in the Hollywood elite now that there's no way he can come back? He's not going to be a wrestler anymore. Plus, he's early 40s now. You need another star. There's guys there to do it, but you got to give them some wins. You got to give them some credibility. You got to build up some belief. And you know what? Maybe we're just in a holding pattern until the live crowds come back. If we can see crowd reactions to some of these folks, I know somebody that's going to have super heat, and that's Eva Marie. Because she's catching all the blame for, oh God, they fired this person, and they're bringing her back. I guess we'll see how good she is in the ring when, she returns. If she's even going to wrestle. She could be a really expensive manager or a second for all we know. I don't know. I don't know how all this is going to work. It's crazy. 3 people are watching. 2 people are talking. What is missing is matches that have not been seen 100 times. Yep. What makes a pay-per-view match bigger than the times they've seen it during the week? I know. They should do a better job at trying to keep people away from each other. Isn't that how we build a program? Or they can interact, but don't have them wrestle 6 times before the show. We've wrestled each other 7 times. Awesome. Now it's Hell in the Cell. Let's do that. I hate gimmick pay-per-views, man. I hate it. Because it's like a blow off to something we don't need a blow off. I mean, this Bayley and Bianca Belair thing, how many times are we going to see that? Oh, that's right, because I told y'all last week the SmackDown women's roster is down to 7. So if you think you've seen recycled matchups before, wait till, oh yeah, it's going to get even worse now. Does Becky Lynch come back? Where is she going to go? What makes Lashley versus McIntyre at the pay-per-view more important than the last 20 Raws? I know. I know. They don't throw anybody else in there. Okay, they threw Kofi in there for a minute, but then they went right back to the status quo. I think it would have been a lot more interesting to keep Lashley away. Keep McIntyre away from keep McIntyre away from Lashley. There you go. Enunciate your words like a big boy, and throw Kofi in the mix and see what happens. Throw Kofi in the mix. You could do something. Hey, Kofi, congrats. You're my brother, Xavier. I'm gonna give you a title shot tonight. Let them work. Don't do a heel turn, because a heel turn would be too obvious at that point. But what is missing is enhancement wrestlers during the week. Yep, and you could find plenty of them that would be ready and willing. You could definitely use some. They wanted to showcase the stars. It's got to be terribly uncomfortable. Well, who goes who over who this week? It's no wonder creative can't figure it out. But there's so many guys that would take that spot, for whatever. What do they offer the underneath guys? $100, $200, or whatever, to come in and do a job to a guy like Lashley for 5 minutes. Be better than watching. I mean, match quality wise, it's not going to be the same, but you're not going to get. I mean, it's better than watching him against McIntyre for the 15th time. Oh, had a Coca-Cola accident. Yes, boss. You get that one, don't you? Yep. All right. Had to do a cake exchange. Bundt cakes are very important in this house. All right. What were we talking about? We were talking about Raw and how boring it is and how terrible it is. Man, have I even been home on a Friday night to watch an AEW? I need to. Maybe I'll watch one and review one. They don't have a lot of underneath people either. Well, the people that are on, I take that back, because they have enhancement people, because they have the other two shows. Save the big matches for the pay-per-view, but give them 10 bit. Yeah, you give them little teases. Yeah, you gotta stop killing the main events. They're trying to book a pay-per-view, a few dusty finishes. Yep, they're trying to book a pay-per-view every night. So all of a sudden now the pay-per-view, or what do you want to call them, the WWE Network, we might as well call them WWE Network specials at this point, become less special. And thereby you're just killing your product on TV, because you've given away every possible matchup that you can give free on television, and it's done, and it's boring and it's repetitive. I dare WWE to start a Raw with a match. I dare them. They never do. I can't remember when the last time they started with a match. Take us to a match in progress, and then show us why it happened. Well, folks, we were going on the air and this happened. So-and-so called out so-and-so. Well, now they're down here. Now they're wrestling. Why are they wrestling? Well, we'll fill it in. Fill in the blanks. I don't know, something. Start with a match. Don't give me a 10-minute promo recapping everything that happened last Monday. Because they can do that later. Hook them in first, then start recapping stuff. Vince's Clash of Champions. Yeah. It seems like it, don't it? Over on NXT, we got the $1 million title. You know, that would have been a big deal back in the day if Ted showed up on Raw with that belt, and and now they saved it for NXT. So what we got? Raw. So the women's tag champs can go back and forth. The women's champs are set. So it's the U.S. title on... Where is the U.S. title? Who has the U.S. title? See how bad that is? I don't even know who the U.S. champion is. That's terrible. Who the heck is it? Somebody beat Riddle for that title. Who the heck was it? Was it Sheamus? I don't even know who the U.S. champion is. Isn't that terrible? Use your Google machine. Sheamus. Okay. Okay, I was right. Oh my God. Wow. That shows you how much that belt is being featured. That is amazing. Oh my God. I didn't even know who the U.S. champ was. Last time I thought I saw Sheamus and he was wearing some kind of face gear. I don't even know what his storyline is right now. They've almost got me to the point where I'm not watching. Same damn patterns every show. Interview leads to tag match. Usually adversaries forced to tag that leads one person screwing another for the pay-per-view. Yes! Why mess with a winning formula? I mean, come on. Don't the ratings reflect we have a hit? Maybe they need a draft to mix all this up again, because, or is that whole brand split thing broken again? Just remember when they had to start doing the super shows, and then finally they just ditched it, and I was like, this brand split's not working anymore. I think I might have got rid of the brand split during COVID, if it was possible. 3-way matches, yep. 3 ways, fatal 4 ways. I would have liked to see Kofi win straight up and just had a one-on-one. It doesn't kill McIntyre. So, yep. 3-way matches for every big belt. Yep. Absolutely. Especially, I was terrible in the undercard. I think Corny had a on his podcast, I guess he's one of the people that came up with a 3-way, or one of the first 3-way matches was in Smoky Mountain, and he said that was supposed to be a one-off gimmick, and then everybody's just started copying it, and now you see it like everywhere. And he says, well, I have to accept responsibility for the triple threat match, and much in a way like Mick Foley has to take responsibility for some of this hardcore stuff. Oh man. And I'm sure when Terry and Mick were doing all that stuff over in Japan, they probably had no clue that somebody was going to look at that and said, wow, let's do entire promotions built on that style. So it is what it is. They need completely different shows, different rosters, and maybe WrestleMania is the only shared pay-per-view. See, I thought they tried that brand-specific pay-per-view stuff, and it just wasn't working for them. But since nobody's truly buying them anyway, you're buying a network subscription. Do subscriptions drop if they go back to that? I don't know. We have to see. And the only thing that concerns me about that is that pattern that we're talking about, where it's so repetitive. How much more repetitive does it become? They need the brands to be able to cross. There almost needs to be I hate to say that. I think they did this before. Wasn't there like a free agency thing where you could allow somebody to kind of slip in there? And I mean, if they slip in, they don't need to slip out right away. They bring this person in, and they need to stick around for an extended period of time, do a program with somebody, and then leave. But not Kofi Kingston comes in for a surprise match, for 1 week, or whoever, and then pops a rating or whatever, or attempts to pop a rating, and then just slides back over to whatever channel, or whoever. Bobby Roode comes to challenge Lashley and then he leaves again. No, there needs to be programs. I still believe in programs. Can I tell y'all this thing? Yeah, let me get it on camera. There we go. You can't see it. That thing was painful. I'm just letting y'all know right now. See how bruised it is on the side? So, I mean, it looks cool, especially when it's faced the right way. Build up the undercard on each brand. Use them as territories. They have 3 territories. Yeah, that might be the way to do it. When somebody gets stale in one place, move them. That's what they did. That's what they used to do in territories. Hey man, this guy's getting real stale over here. Let's move him. Ship him over to. Hey, Apollo Crews is running out of challengers for the Intercontinental. Great, we can ship off. I don't know. Heck, who's left on Raw? No KOs on SmackDown. Oh gosh. We'll ship Riddle over there for 2 months or something. I don't know. Once a storyline gets burned, swap people out, start a new storyline. At least not be forced. Yeah, watch the same crap over and over and over again. Yeah, I like that idea. Will they do it? Nope, it's a good idea. Oh man. Oh man, Leo Rush was forced to bounce. Did y'all see that? Yep, sure did. Bounced right out of there. I guess he's too hurt to keep wrestling, which is a shame. Because I thought this whole AEW thing was going to be a new start for him, but apparently he's injured and can't go. So that sucks. Even give each brand their own touring area specific. Yeah. Yep. I mean, don't they do that anyway? If SmackDown's on the West Coast and Raw on the East Coast, I don't know how the schedule works or how the touring schedule works. But I'm sure that's going to be that's something they're going to have to plan for once July rolls back around. I'm curious to see if things improve once live crowds come back, because that's a big element that's missing from a lot of these shows. Because I mean, watching people, the can noise and watching people on videos, flat screens is boring. It's really boring to watch if you're sitting there on TV. Every 5 years, swap the touring area like you do crop rotations. Yeah, that might be the way to go. Yeah, split the country into 3 parts. Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll tour over here. You guys tour over there. I don't know. That's why they don't pay me the big bucks to make those decisions. Oh man, kids, I might have another 10 minutes in me. And then I might call it a day. I thought more people would jump in here tonight. I mean, I like doing these live streams as long as I got somebody to talk to, but when I don't have anybody to talk to, man, I get bored. Like I said, that fresh tat, man, my arm is sore. And that thing is covering like 3/4 of my forearm. So it's a lot bigger than I originally planned. But it is what it is. I got it and I love it. It's just going to be, this healing process is going to take some time. And I don't know if Sean's watching me right now, but dude, I'm still waiting on some promotional materials. Still waiting on the vids we did Sunday. They sent your money over, so help me out. I don't know if you ever answer my text. That guy gets so busy sometimes. It's it's crazy. This could have been a crazy afternoon, but I didn't let it be crazy. I didn't let it be crazy. That's what she said. Well, I'm so bruised because she was constantly, pinching the skin to move it over to get the lines in, and it's just, yeah. So that one's gonna take some healing. When you said that's what she said, it says the biggest one you ever got. I'm trying to turn my arm so it can be seen. There we go. Is that better? There, I had to get out of camera range. There you go. That redness is not part of the tattoo, by the way. It's Saniderm. No, they told me to just use Lubriderm, which is what I've used on every tat that I've got so far, and it seems to work fine. They use something. They have their own stuff up there, but I'm not sure what it is. They said don't use Aquaphor anymore because they've changed the formula, and it's, try to stay away from stuff that has too much petroleum stuff like that. You want water-based so it can breathe and all that fun stuff. So shouldn't be bruised. Well, Rick, I bruise easily is all I can say. They took blood and I bruised on this hand, so it's I don't think nothing's wrong. It's not trust me, it's not infected. There's nothing really wrong with it. It just is what it is. That's the way my skin is. The other one reddened up a little bit too, and it turned out fine. See, Marvin's great now. It looks really good. Well, turn your arm. There. Turn your arm where people can see it. See, Marvin looks good. This one's just like triple the size. Sorry, gummy vitamins are good. I forgot to take them this morning. New stuff used in surgeries. It's like a plastic wrap you leave on for. Wow, you leave it. Wow, it's something you leave wrapped for a week. Holy crap! I don't know. I've never seen it. And nobody suggested it to me either. Interesting. I can call him and ask him about it. But I mean, like I said, that thing was wrapped for an hour and a half, and then I took it off and washed it and cleaned it, and I just started putting lotion on it today. So I'll probably clean it one more time before I go to sleep. So I said I'm treating it like I treated this other one, and this other one turned out great. So, what are you doing? When you make that noise, people hear you. I got this dog's at my feet. She's 16 or 17 years old now. Yeah, both lower arms, sleeves now. Oh, okay. 13 hours. Oh my God. Well, you're tougher than me, because I'm going to tell you the story. So, the way I was sitting, and then I got that. You ever had your ribs catch? So my ribs caught. And then, I don't know if I got a gas bubble trap. So they gave me cold water. So I drank the cold water. That pain finally went away. So after, like, you know, the girl, just vapor, smoker, whatever. She, when she took her second little break, and she didn't take very long breaks, maybe 5 minutes. When she came back, now on that third hour, this one was about 4.5. On that third hour, my hand, after the third hour, my arm started feeling like hamburger. I mean, like raw hamburger. So that's probably where some of that bruising came in. And like I said, that's when I really noticed all tattoos bleed. You just don't really see it on the surface that much. But mine was really coming up on the surface. So, it's the most difficult. There's no way I could sit for 13 hours. No way. 13 straight? No, there's not a chance. No, I was sore after 3, and she was down to the last half hour, and I was like, man, just don't tap out. Just don't tap out. Because when we took the first break, it was just black and white, and I was like, man, I don't know. I almost considered, it's like, man, I could leave this as a black and white and it'd be just as cool. And nobody would think less of it. But I went forward, and the more I went forward, man, the worse it got. Usually I guess the adrenaline wore off. Usually I get the outline done, and then it goes numb. But there was so much fine detail in here. I mean, you know, the mouth has got teeth, and there's a tongue coming out and stuff like that. It's really, really, there's really fine detail in Spider-Man spider webs, you know. So Mario Wimp. Mario Bell in Hendersonville does my tats. Does Rikers, Carl. Oh, cool. Okay. Excellent. That's awesome. Yeah. Hendo's a little far for me to go. I got this done in Somerville, which is about 10 minutes from my house. So her name is Zoe Zuzu Pedal. She does a good job, though. Like, she does a lot of American traditional. I actually know what that is because of watching Esther. And if you want like any comic book related or cartoon stuff, she's the shit. So I go to her, and I haven't been disappointed yet. So I've got other stuff that I've done and had done in Savannah, where none of it's as visually impressive as this is. So, but that's cool, man. So Mario's probably cleaning up if he's doing a bunch of the boys' tats. So good for him. But I don't know if I was ever in that. Yeah, man. If I was Two Kings, I've heard of Two Kings. Okay, so yeah, if I was ever in that area, I mean, and I wanted to get some ink, I would definitely do it. Yes, she does. But I can't ride. I can't ride all the way up to Hendo to get a tat. You know, if I was staying in Hendo over a weekend doing a show or something, that'd be different. I travel there. It's on your body forever. Yes, indeed. Well, I'm a comic nerd, so I mean, if I was rich or something and could cover my body, and well, I might not do that, but I'm saying, You know, if I was a really super tattoo addict, I could see my body being covered in like comic panels and stuff. That's so. No, Somerville's closed. She's awesome. Mystic Tiki Tattoo in Somerville, and I will put them over till forever. Yeah. She does good work. Denny's gonna get another one in August, I think. So. Which reminds me, I don't think I sent that picture. Oh, so okay, he worked in ref too. Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah. Well, he picked a. I know COVID probably killed them, but I mean now that things are opening back up and stuff, these parlors, the ones around here, you have to make your appointments like 2-3 months ahead because they're so booked up. Unless you get lucky and somebody opens up a Bright. It does Bryce's. Okay, cool. What was I saying? Oh yeah, they're just so booked up. So you got to get on the books, unless you just get a lucky like cancellation or something, and they can work you in. Yay! August 4th, birthday. Whee! Birthday tat, birthday month. Yeah, she does good work. I'm telling you, she is cool. And we both like comics, so we get along real well, super well. She's good, really good tattoo artist. It's 9. Thanks, Rick, for hanging out. I saw my wife pop in here for a second. I am going to sign off. This has been my little live feed. Rick, I don't know if you were in the beginning when I was talking about the WWE stock going crazy, so stay right here, because if something blows up with that, oh man, yeah, I love Ink Master. Yeah, that's cool. I'll have to check that out. Mario Bell, he was on there. I'd have to find out which season he was on. I'll check that out. He's 3 months booked out. Well, all the good people are, yeah, I would imagine. But I'll wrap this. If anything happens with a sale or something crazy goes with the stock tomorrow or within the next day, Sunday we tape Swamp Fox Studios. John Andrew Reyes, Lightning Man. We're going to find out all about his comic book. And then, hopefully we'll have our promotional materials up and at 'em for Facebook. I'm sorry, I say for Facebook. YouTube, we'll probably put them on Facebook too. And so we got that going on. And then if we got some folks that will answer me back, we'll have some more interviews scheduled for the month of June. 28th is my birthday, so yay. So we'll tape on the 27th, and then I'm not going to do anything after that. So I'll have a birthday week. You did get a tat from an Ink Master in Dallas, because that dude was like, oh man, Denny, what was his name again? Angel something? He was awesome. That dude had like a wall of awards. That was cool. Irving, not Dallas. It's almost the same thing. He hasn't been on there. Oh, he turned him down. Okay. Oh. Check out his page. Does cartoons Inhuman. I will check out his page. Like I said, I don't know if I could ever get that way to get another tat. Right now I'm on tat restriction, so I've had my 2 for this year. And then Denny's gonna get her foot done. This is because she's been wanting that done for forever. So yeah, let me slide on off of here. So we got some stuff coming up. Stay tuned to the show, and we'll be posting some more videos later on in the week and the weekend. and I'm going to sign out and get out of here.